Did you know that intelligence isn't something you're born with, but something you can sharpen every day? But how can you do that? The surprising thing is, by applying just a few ancient principles, you can become smarter in just a few months. Want to know the secret? But what if I told you that everything you need to boost your intelligence is already in your mind? No books, no technology. What would you do? In today's video, we'll explore 10 powerful Stoic secrets to enhance your intelligence and personal growth. If you want to understand how Stoic techniques can change the way you think and learn, keep watching, and don't forget to subscribe to Wisdom Daily so you never miss out on these valuable videos. Stoic Technique 1. Embracing change. You've probably heard the saying, change is inevitable in life. But instead of fearing it, Stoics encourage us to embrace change as a natural part of life. They believe that change is not something bad, but an opportunity to learn, adapt, and grow intellectually. Embracing change is the first step toward progress. When we view change as something normal, it becomes easier to adapt. Think about a time when you had to change your environment, maybe moving to a new city, starting a new job, or even trying a new hobby. In these situations, if you don't accept the change, you may feel confused, stressed, or even fail. But if you open your heart to it, you'll realize that change brings new opportunities for learning and growth. Change is not always easy, but it always opens new doors. You've surely experienced moments when it was uncomfortable to change a habit or get accustomed to something new. However, according to Stoic philosophy, these challenges are actually lessons that help us grow. Marcus Aurelius, one of the greatest Stoic philosophers, said, "Loss is nothing but change, and change is nature's delight." This means that instead of seeing change as a loss, we should see it as an opportunity to learn and become stronger. Try looking at change through a positive lens. When you face an unexpected change, such as a shift in your job, a relationship, or your life plans, instead of feeling anxious and fearful, ask yourself, what can this teach me? What can I learn from this situation to grow? Change is not an enemy, but a teacher, guiding us through lessons on flexibility and adaptability in life. We can't control all the changes, but we can control how we respond to them. This is the essence of Stoicism. When you accept change and view it as an opportunity to learn, you've taken the first step in applying one of the fundamental Stoic principles. Remember that wisdom doesn't come from avoiding difficulties, but from facing and learning from the changes life brings. When you change your perspective on change, you'll find life much easier to navigate. So, instead of worrying about what can't be changed, focus on accepting it and finding the learning opportunities in every change. This is one of the first Stoic techniques we'll apply to enhance intelligence and personal development. Next, we'll explore another Stoic technique, how to face discomfort and use it to grow your intelligence. Stoic Technique 2. Embracing discomfort for growth. Surely many of us share a common desire to live comfortably and avoid hardships or challenges. However, according to Stoicism, it is these very difficulties and discomforts that drive intellectual and personal growth. So how can we face and leverage these challenges instead of avoiding them? Challenges are opportunities for growth. When we face an uncomfortable situation, we often tend to shy away or try to solve the problem quickly without truly confronting it. However, Stoics encourage us to change this perspective. Every challenge, whether small or large, is an opportunity to learn and grow. Think about times when you had to learn a new skill, such as a foreign language, or a job that required new knowledge. At first, it may have been difficult, but in those struggles, you found yourself growing and becoming much smarter. Discomfort is an opportunity to practice patience and mental strength. According to Stoicism, when we face discomfort, it is an opportunity to practice patience and mental strength. Imagine yourself in front of a great challenge, an important exam, a difficult project, or a stressful situation at work. Instead of focusing on the difficulties ahead, view it as an opportunity to build resilience, control your emotions, and maintain calm in any situation. These challenges will help you develop deep thinking and problem-solving skills, changing our view of discomfort to achieve true intelligence. Instead of always trying to avoid uncomfortable situations, Stoics encourage us to face them head-on. This doesn't mean we have to endure unnecessary hardships or work ourselves to the bone, but rather see discomfort as an opportunity to grow intellectually. Have you ever wondered, if there were no difficulties or challenges, would we ever truly grow and become smarter? The answer is no. It is in those tough moments that true intelligence is honed. When facing discomfort, your intelligence expands. You may feel challenged when facing a complex task or a major life change, but it is in these moments that you will realize how much you are learning. We don't just develop skills. We learn how to adjust our emotions, thoughts, and actions in difficult situations. This helps expand our intellect and makes us stronger. Thus, instead of avoiding discomfort, we should embrace it as an inevitable part of life. Every challenge, whether small or large, is an opportunity to sharpen our intellect and mental strength. It is through these challenges that you will find the ability to overcome and grow. Remember that Stoicism teaches us not just how to face difficulties, but how to use those difficulties to build lasting intellectual growth. Next, we will explore another Stoic technique: how to practice deliberate disengagement in everyday life. Stoic Technique 3, practicing deliberate disengagement in life. We often have the tendency to want to control everything, especially when facing a problem or challenge. However, sometimes stepping back and pausing to assess the situation more thoughtfully can be the key to developing intelligence. Sometimes, disengagement brings a clearer perspective. You've probably found yourself in a situation where, when trying to solve a difficult problem, the more you push, the more complicated it seems. At such times, Stoics suggest that instead of constantly trying to solve the issue immediately, stepping back and taking a broader view can help you gain more clarity. It's similar to when you're drawing a picture. When you're too close to it, you only see the small details, making it hard to grasp the whole image. But if you step back, you can see the overall picture and easily spot the areas that need improvement. Deliberate disengagement is a way to develop intelligence. According to Stoic philosophy, knowing when to step back and observe the situation helps us avoid being swept away by emotions and acting too hastily. This is one of the ways we develop intelligence. For example, in a heated debate or when making an important decision, we might feel pressured to speak our mind quickly. However, if we can step back, observe, and think carefully before responding, we will make wiser decisions and avoid mistakes. Stepping back does not mean giving up. Disengaging does not mean abandoning or avoiding responsibility. In fact, it is a proactive move in itself. It allows us to see the situation calmly and analyze the problem from a different angle. Often, in these moments of pause, we can find the best solution without rushing to make a decision. Step back to move forward. When we accept disengagement in stressful situations, it not only helps relieve tension, but also opens up opportunities for intellectual growth. By not rushing and taking time to think carefully, our intellect becomes sharper. Try applying this in everyday situations. When feeling pressured or stressed, instead of acting immediately, pause, take a deep breath, and look at the whole picture before making a decision. Stepping back is not weakness, but a powerful strategy to develop intelligence. When we know when to disengage and give ourselves space to observe, we gain a clearer perspective and can make more thoughtful decisions. Try applying this technique in your life, and you will see your intellect grow. Next, we will explore another Stoic technique: how to maintain lifelong learning and continue personal development without limits. Stoic Technique 4. Lifelong. Learning, you've probably heard the saying, learn more, learn forever. This simple phrase carries a profound principle taught by Stoics through generations. Learning is not a process with an endpoint, it's a lifelong journey. And 4. Stoics' lifelong learning is the key to developing intelligence and navigating life effectively. Learning is a habit, not a goal to be achieved. According to Stoicism, learning isn't limited to schools or degrees. It's seen as a continuous habit that lasts throughout our lives. Think of learning as a long journey, not a destination. If we consider learning to be just about finishing a course or receiving a diploma, we miss out on an essential aspect of personal growth. Real learning begins when we step out of the classroom and apply those lessons to real life. We can always learn from the things around us. You might think, learning only happens in academic environments. But the truth is, every day is an opportunity to learn. You can learn from conversations with friends, challenges at work, or even the failures you encounter. Every situation, whether joyful or difficult, holds valuable lessons. To develop intelligence, we must maintain curiosity and be ready to learn from everything around us. Learning is not just about consuming information, but about reflecting and applying it. Sometimes we tend to consume too much information without taking time to reflect or apply it in practice. Stoics teach that learning isn't just about absorbing knowledge, it's about thinking, reflecting, and using what we learn in real life. When you learn something new, don't just memorize it. Think about how to apply that knowledge to your work, relationships, and daily life situations. Learning helps us develop intelligence and problem-solving skills. Stoics believe that intelligence isn't something you achieve overnight. It's the result of a never-ending learning process. The more we learn, the better we become at solving problems and making wise decisions. Just like physical training, our intellect needs care and development every day. Lifelong learning not only helps expand our knowledge, but also serves as a powerful tool for developing intelligence and facing life's challenges. If you maintain the habit of continuous learning, you will not only become smarter, but also learn to see life more profoundly. Next, we will explore another Stoic technique, how to cultivate gratitude and use it to enhance your intelligence. Stoic. Technique 5. Cultivating gratitude. We often think of gratitude as an emotion that arises when someone does something kind for us. But for Stoics, gratitude is a habit, a way of living that helps us recognize the lessons in every moment and develop our intellect. Gratitude is a powerful tool for developing intelligence. When we feel gratitude, we don't just recognize the good things, but we also learn to see challenges in life from a more positive perspective. Stoics teach that gratitude helps us understand that every event in life, whether joyful or difficult, brings valuable lessons. When you practice gratitude, you open your heart and mind to recognize the good things that we sometimes overlook in the hustle and bustle of life. Gratitude helps us focus on what we have. You've probably had moments where you felt like something was missing, or you weren't satisfied with what you have. But when you practice gratitude, you begin to realize that what you have right now is enough to bring happiness and wisdom. Instead of complaining about what's lacking, you start to find peace and happiness in the simplest things, from a beautiful morning to a heartfelt conversation with a loved one. This doesn't just improve your mood, it helps make your intellect sharper. Gratitude helps us live in the present. We often live too much in the past or worry about the future, which causes us to miss out on the precious moments of the present. Gratitude is a way to bring us back to the present, helping us focus on what's happening right now. Try looking around and asking yourself, what in my life today can I be grateful for? It could be a smile from a friend, a delicious meal, or simply the ability to enjoy the day. These little things help us feel more fortunate, and in turn, naturally develop our intelligence. Gratitude enhances our ability to observe and perceive. When you start practicing gratitude, you'll realize that you're not just grateful for the big things, but also for the small things in life. This helps you develop your ability to observe and perceive the world around you more deeply. By focusing on what you have and feeling thankful, you become more attuned to recognizing learning opportunities and expanding your intellect. Gratitude not only helps you feel happier, but is also a powerful tool for developing intelligence. When you practice gratitude daily, you'll not only experience peace of mind, but also cultivate a deeper perspective on life. Start with the small things in your life and see how your intellect grows. Next, we will explore another Stoic technique, how to practice mindful observation and use it to expand your intellect. Stoic Technique 6. Mindful observation in today's busy life, we often overlook the small details around us. However, according to Stoicism, paying attention to these tiny things is one of the key techniques to develop intelligence and gain a deeper understanding of life. Mindful observation helps us notice important details. You've probably had moments when, sitting in a cafe or strolling down the street, you simply observe everything around you without paying much attention to the small details. However, Stoics teach us that if we take the time to observe, we'll discover many things that we might have previously missed. It could be a shared glance between strangers, a smile from someone, or even the change in the air as evening falls. These details may seem insignificant, but with mindful observation, we can uncover hidden values in every moment. Observation helps us understand more about ourselves and the world around us. When we focus on the small things, we not only gain a better understanding of the world around us, but also learn more about ourselves. Every time you pause and observe, you are training your awareness, learning how to react to changes, and discovering valuable lessons that life presents. This helps you develop your intellect and gain a deeper understanding of everything in life. Mindful observation improves our focus. By practicing mindful observation, you not only see the small details, but also enhance your ability to focus. Taking time to pay attention to every moment, from how the leaves sway in the wind to the sounds of life around you, helps you develop attention and patience. This will also help you in your work and relationships, as you'll learn how to listen and understand better, rather than just judging quickly. Observation can expand our intellect. Stoics believe that intelligence doesn't just come from reading books or studying theories, but from living and observing the world around us. When you practice mindful observation, you'll realize that there are things you've never noticed before. Every time you observe, you learn something new, which helps make your intellect deeper and more flexible. Your perspective on the world will expand, and your intellect will gradually grow. Mindful observation not only helps you notice the small things in life, but also serves as a way to develop your intellect. When you learn to look at everything around you carefully and attentively, you will find that the world becomes richer and more worth exploring. Mindful observation will help you learn more each day, expand your intellect, and become deeper in your perception of life. Next, we will explore another Stoic technique, how to practice active listening and use it to expand your intellect. Stoic Technique 7. Active listening in life. We often think that in order to become smarter, we need to talk a lot and share our ideas. But Stoics have a very different perspective. They believe that listening is the key to absorbing knowledge and expanding our understanding. Active listening helps us learn from others. You've probably been in a conversation where, while the other person was speaking, you were just thinking about what to say next. But this causes you to miss out on a lot of valuable information. Active listening means you're fully focused on the other person, understanding the deeper meaning behind what they're saying, without rushing to respond. Indeed, true understanding comes from listening without judgment and without rushing. Instead of waiting for your turn to speak, you'll learn valuable lessons from those around you. Listening isn't just hearing, it's understanding and feeling. Active listening is not simply about hearing sounds or words. It's about understanding the emotions, thoughts, and perspectives of others. When you listen sincerely, you begin to understand more about the world and how people view the world around them. This is a crucial technique for expanding intellect and increasing awareness. Imagine when you listen to a friend share a difficult experience. They're not just telling you facts. You can feel their pain, their anxiety, or their hope in their words. This doesn't just help you understand that person better, but it also helps you discover new perspectives, which in turn broadens your intellect. Active listening helps build strong relationships. When you listen, you're not only learning, but you're also building stronger relationships. People feel respected and understood when you take the time to listen and not judge quickly. Good relationships are built on understanding and empathy, and listening is the most effective way to create this foundation. In fact, during discussions or negotiations, those who listen more often seize better opportunities because they better understand the needs and desires of others. Listening helps us develop patience and stay calm. Listening is also a lesson in patience. Sometimes in life, we feel an urge to speak immediately or to respond right away. However, Stoics teach that patience is essential for developing intellect. When you practice active listening, you learn to be patient, think carefully, and respond appropriately. This not only helps you in life but also in work and social relationships. Active listening is not just a communication technique, it's a way to develop intelligence and broaden understanding. When you listen sincerely, you don't just learn from others, but you also enrich your own vision and intellect. Try taking time to listen, and you'll see how your intellect deepens. Next, we will explore another Stoic technique, how to find stillness amid the noise and stress of everyday life. Stoic technique. 8. Finding stillness amidst the noise. In today's world, we are constantly surrounded by noise, from the sound of car horns, phone notifications, to the constant hustle of work and life. So how can we maintain stillness and find space for reflection amid all this chaos? Stoicism has a clear answer. Silence is the key to focusing, reflecting, and developing our intellect. Silence helps us focus. When we are surrounded by too much information and noise, it becomes difficult to focus. We get distracted easily, and it becomes harder to accomplish tasks or think deeply. Silence, on the other hand, is the space where our minds can return to themselves, calm down, and concentrate on what truly matters. It's like when you sit in a quiet room to work or study. You'll notice a significant difference in your ability to focus and the effectiveness of your work. Silence helps us reflect on what we've been through. When life around us is constantly moving, we sometimes forget to stop and reflect on what has happened. Silence creates space for us to center ourselves, listen to our thoughts, and think about our experiences. We can reflect on the decisions we've made, the mistakes we've encountered, and the valuable lessons life has given us. Time spent in stillness helps us process emotions, understand ourselves better, and learn from those experiences. Silence helps develop our intellect. Stoics teach that intelligence does not come from absorbing noisy information or rushing to make decisions, but from having space to pause and reflect. When we seek stillness, we not only resolve emotions but also enrich our intellect. Silence helps you think deeply about issues, see things from a different perspective, and make better decisions. Imagine sitting alone in a quiet space, uninterrupted, thinking about everything you've learned throughout the day. It's during these moments that your intellect is nurtured. Silence is not avoidance, it's a way to recharge. Silence doesn't mean escaping life or avoiding responsibilities. In fact, silence is a way for us to recharge our energy, regaining mental strength to face the world outside. Sometimes we need to pause, take a deep breath, and allow ourselves to rest so we can continue stronger. It's in these quiet moments that we can reassess life, adjust our emotions, and prepare ourselves for the challenges ahead. Silence is a powerful tool that helps us regain focus, reflect, and develop our intellect. By creating stillness in our lives, we not only allow ourselves to relax, but also enhance our ability to perceive and respond more profoundly. Take time each day to seek stillness, and you'll see your intellect grow naturally. Next, we will explore another Stoic technique, how to find meaningful connections with others and learn from them. Stoic technique. 9. Interacting with diverse people. We often tend to communicate with people who are similar to us, who share our viewpoints, and rarely expand our circle to engage with those who have different opinions. However, Stoicism teaches us that interacting with diverse people is an opportunity to learn more and broaden our knowledge. Interacting with diverse people expands our perspective. When you communicate with people who have different viewpoints and backgrounds, you begin to see problems from new angles. You've probably encountered someone with an opposing opinion, and after listening to them, you realized there were aspects you hadn't thought of before. This broadens your perspective and helps you think more flexibly. Not only does this help you learn from others, but it also allows you to perceive the world in a deeper way, thus developing your intellect. Every conversation is a lesson. In reality, every conversation with a diverse person is an opportunity to learn. Whether it's a discussion with a friend who has an opposing view, or a chat with someone from a different cultural background, you can always gain valuable insights. The stories, experiences, and perspectives they share will help you expand your understanding. This doesn't just give you a deeper look at the world, but also helps you understand and appreciate the differences between people. Learning from differences enriches our intellect. Stoicism advises that intelligence doesn't come from only hearing what we want to hear, but from broadening our horizons and listening to diverse perspectives. When you interact with diverse people, you begin to see the world through many different lenses. This makes your intellect richer and deeper. For example, when you converse with someone from a different culture, you'll realize values and perspectives you may have never considered. This not only helps you understand the world better, but also develops your critical thinking skills. Interacting with diverse people enhances our communication and empathy. When you engage with people who hold different views and backgrounds, you are also honing your communication and empathy skills. You learn how to listen and respect opposing opinions, as well as how to resolve conflicts in a tactful and rational way. This helps you build stronger, more enduring relationships and creates a richer environment for exchanging ideas. Interacting with diverse people not only helps us learn, but also expands our perspective and develops our intellect. When you engage with people who have different viewpoints and cultures, you gain valuable lessons, which enhances your ability to communicate and think critically. This is how you become smarter and perceive the world more profoundly. Next, we will explore another Stoic technique, how to cultivate curiosity and use it to expand your intellect. Stoic Technique 10. Cultivating curiosity. Instead of judging in life, we often have the tendency to judge everything around us, from situations to people, based only on what we know or feel. However, Stoicism encourages a different approach. Instead of judging, cultivate curiosity. Curiosity not only helps us understand the world better, but also broadens our knowledge and develops our intellect. Curiosity helps us dig deeper into every situation. When facing a problem or a new situation, curiosity makes us not rush to judge or jump to conclusions. Instead, we proactively seek to understand and explore the underlying factors. Imagine encountering a difficult situation at work or in a relationship. Instead of reacting immediately, curiosity will help you view the problem more objectively, allowing you to come up with thoughtful and effective solutions. Curiosity helps you find the root causes of the issue, rather than just addressing the surface-level aspects. Curiosity expands our understanding of others. When we cultivate curiosity, we learn more about the people around us. Instead of evaluating others based on what we hear or see, curiosity encourages us to listen and understand them more deeply. Every person around us carries a unique story, experience, and perspective. If we judge without understanding, we miss out on valuable lessons from those individuals. Ask yourself, do I truly understand this person, or am I simply passing judgment? When you allow yourself to be curious and seek to understand, you'll broaden your perspective and intellect. Curiosity helps develop our intellect in every situation. One of the important principles of Stoicism is that intellectual growth doesn't come just from reading books or formal education, but from facing and resolving situations in life. When we cultivate curiosity instead of judgment, we'll constantly find valuable lessons in every situation, whether it's difficult or simple. Curiosity turns every challenge into an opportunity for learning and growth. When you face a challenge, rather than feeling anxious or fearful, see it as an opportunity to explore and discover. You'll be surprised to find that every challenge holds valuable lessons. Curiosity enhances our creativity. When we nurture curiosity, we don't just absorb information, we also develop our creative abilities. Curiosity encourages us to ask questions about what we don't know and find new ways to approach problems. Instead of following the same old thought patterns, curiosity opens up possibilities we might not have imagined. This approach not only helps you solve problems creatively, but also boosts your ability to generate unique ideas. Curiosity is a powerful tool that helps us develop our intellect and expand our understanding. When you cultivate curiosity instead of judging, you'll find learning opportunities in every situation and from every person around you. Curiosity will help you discover valuable lessons in life and become wiser every day. Together, we've explored 10 powerful Stoic techniques to enhance intelligence, from embracing change, active listening, to nurturing curiosity and seeking stillness in a busy world. Each technique is a valuable tool to help us become wiser and learn from the challenges life throws at us. The most important lesson Stoicism teaches us is that wisdom doesn't just come from books. It comes from how we live, think, and face the situations in our daily lives. Remember, wisdom is a journey, not a destination, and every step along the way offers valuable lessons. So, what do you think about these Stoic techniques? Have you started applying them in your life? Share your thoughts in the comments. We'd love to hear your stories and experiences. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to hit subscribe and turn on notifications so you won't miss our upcoming videos. Join us on this journey of self-growth and discover the secrets of life with Wisdom Daily. Thank you for watching, and we will see you in the next video.